Om Shanti. Welcome to today's episode of Masters of Change. Everyone wants to change the world, but only a handful want to change about themselves. Real change begins at home. So to talk about the changes in her journey and to take us through that, today we have with us Sister Patricia from Brazil. Welcome, Sister.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with your audience.
Same here, same here. So why don't you tell us about your life, how it all started? How did you come into spirituality?
Sure. I am Brazilian from very young age. I was kind of seeking for some level of fulfillment that my lifestyle couldn't give me. You know, I always consider myself a very fortunate person because I come from a background in which I used to have everything available in terms of a good level of education, in terms of access to the world, to travel, to have to fulfill all our needs, basic and anyway our needs. And although I used to have this fulfilling life, there was always a space inside myself that I couldn't reach. That was a little bit my sensation. So from time to time, when I would come in contact with this emptiness inside, I would feel a little sad, let's say. But then, of course, being young and surrounded by friends and different things, we would not stay in that space of sadness and just kind of distract myself with other things. Right. But it was always there. And I think that since a very young age, because I came to come in contact with Brahma Kumaris at 20 years old.
When you were 20 years old?
Yeah, but since before I was already looking for some source of fulfillment in spirituality. So kind of curious, reading and going to some meetings and trying to find out, I believe, a way to fulfill this emptiness inside.
What did you think was missing, like happiness?
I think it was really this feeling of spiritual fulfillment. I think it's because I think that happiness has different levels, no? And yes, I was a happy person. I was never a kind of depressed person or person that would be sad. Or my nature is contentment since childhood. So I think it's not just this level of happiness, but more this state of fullness or bliss or kind of a deep inner satisfaction. You know, this state that comes from inside and really doesn't have nothing to do with whatever you have or you do or who you are. So I think it was this which was kind of claiming from inside.
Right. So you said you were 20 when you came into the contact of Brahma Kumaris and spirituality. So when you did you do the course?
Yeah, actually I came as an invitation from a friend who was practicing meditation and yes, I did the course. And to be honest with you, as soon as I did the Raja Yoga course, nothing really touched me so much, but for some reason I kept coming. I think kind of, I felt there was something, though I couldn't still feel it at the moment I did the course. I was attracted by the knowledge itself, but it happened that very soon after I did the course, like few months after I did the course, one of the senior sisters from India was going to visit Brazil. And so there was going to happen a retreat, and they invited the new ones to come to this retreat. And in this retreat, something very unique happened with me, because for the first time, I think that somehow I follow the timetable, going to sleep early, which for me was a kind of challenge. Usually I used to go to sleep the time I started to wake up. Yeah. So going to sleep early and have vegetarian, pure food and kind of good company and good reflections and a routine with my meditation, a discipline. And at the last session of that retreat, which was a kind of conducted meditation by this senior sister, for the first time, I felt that empty space got completely full and started to blossom from inside. So really, like what I was looking for, searching my entire life, finally I could kind of come in touch with that part of myself. And it was such a wonderful feeling, such a wonderful experience, that after that retreat, I took a decision that I wanted more of that. And so it's interesting because very naturally then, I decided to apply in my day-to-day life all that disciplines. It was a kind of a choice. It was not an imposition or you have to do, but I decided, I remember because living in Brazil at that time, in the 90s, it was not so common to be vegetarian. And so I remember coming back from that retreat, and I went to a restaurant to have my last piece of meat. And from that onwards, never touched it again, but in a natural and kind of happy way, you see? So it was not a sacrifice or something like that.
Correct. How long was the retreat for?
One weekend. Like we went all together on Friday and we left on Sunday. So it's 1 weekend time.
Within 3 days' time, you experienced such a thing. And what changes did you see after you took all that discipline in your life? You stopped eating non-vegetarian food, you said.
Yes.
What were the other disciplines that you took care of, and what changes did you see?
Yeah, I stopped it with many different habits that a young person, like I used to go for party with friends and drink and all kinds of things. And then as an option, I decided to change my lifestyle. As I said, I used to go to sleep in the morning. Now I was waking up in the morning. So what I feel is that, it's interesting because when you have a clear understanding and you are able to kind of align this understanding with a clear aim, which is the aim of really becoming this blossom, this full being every day during my life, Like I don't want to just experience this state for some minutes in meditation, but I want to make myself divine once again. So there is this clear feeling that I was like that and I want to become like that again. And what I feel is that when you have this understanding, this aim, everything makes sense in your life. So you are able really to kind of, even difficult situations, you are able to make meaning of them, and you are able to use them for your self-transformation process. So I think that life becomes much more rich, much more enriched. And of course, this you share with others,
Correct.
Like in a natural way.
So how did your friends at that time take about this change? How did they react to it? How did your family react to the change that you were going through? Were they supportive enough?
Yeah, I think that at the beginning it's something new and people get a little scared. But as I say, when you share with them the benefit of what you are doing and they see the benefit, they see the transformation, I think that this fear that they had at the beginning, in a short space of time, starts to melt.
Yeah.
Because they see that, what you are saying, what you are sharing, what you are living makes sense, and you are more satisfied, and you are more kind of happy. And so my entire family has been in India already. Some of the members of my family have come more than one time. And it's interesting because being in this atmosphere of Mount Abu, where this main ashram of Brahma Kumaris is located, I think it really has a very special impact. I remember my brother, I have one brother, one sister, and my brother, he's a pilot.
Okay.
And he was the most skeptical about spirituality.
Yeah.
And I remember when he came here, that the junk was still around, and he just melted completely. And then he started to say to me, now I know why you want to be here every year. It's really amazing. So like this capacity of coming in contact with your truth, basically, and your beauty, and the best level of quality of your inner being. So it's not just that you come in contact with your love, but the best quality of the love you have, the best quality of the peace, best quality of power, because it's all there inside, So I think that this is just overwhelming.
So over a period of time, you started to experience all that love, power, and strength inside of you.
Yeah. You start to experience. You start to come in contact with you in a more intimate way. So it's not that love and peace are something that you have to reach outside, or you have no idea where it is, because I think that usually it is like that. As I said to you, because I believe that our origin is fullness, that we are these divine beings. I believe that all of these qualities are there deep inside. And because they are there, because they exist, we have this tendency to look for them. We want them again, but we don't know where they are. We don't know where to search.
Yeah.
And I think that when you know where they are, then it's just a matter of revisiting that state and refine your experience, your understanding. I think that until today, I'm still redefining and getting more and more clarity in terms of the meaning and the possible experience of these qualities inside.
That's very interesting. And what was the first time? When did you visit Mount Abu the first time? At what age?
It was just like 6 months, because when I'm a surgeon dentist. Okay. And when I came to Brahma Kumaris, I was in the last year of my graduation. Okay. So like right after that, like 6 months after that, I graduated, and then I was free. So I came after that. So it was in the end of 91, something like that.
So what was your experience? Was it different from you used to go to the center there in Brazil?
Yeah, I used to go to the center.
How was the experience here in Mount Abu? Was it different or was it the same?
I think it's this experience of belonging to the world. One of the things which I feel it's very rich also in Brahma Kumaris is that you meet people from all over the world, and it's not just a casual meeting, but you are able to develop a relationship, and we develop friendship, and it's kind of a shared pathway. And it's interesting because although each one is in a completely different corner of the world, a completely different culture, and sometimes we spend, like now, for instance, because of COVID, we spend 3-4 years without meeting physically, just online. Yeah. But when you come to meet people, it's very clear that it's just one journey. It's like everyone is in the same wagon, doing the same journey, though physically in different corners. So there is this deep connection, and I think that this is one of the things that we get coming here, this broader vision, And also, of course, the place where the founder have made his own efforts. And like when you start to experience with spirituality, you give value to vibration, and vibration, it's like it gets impregnated, all over the place. So there is a completely different vibe, a completely different feeling. when you come here, and I think that we can take benefit of this feeling as well, this vibration.
So when we hang out with our friends, so after we come to spirituality, we see that hanging out with the same bunch of friends becomes difficult because of I have experienced that because of the vibration. Your vibration increases, and then you don't feel like hanging out with the same bunch of people. Your group changes, your community changes. Did you ever feel such a thing? Did your circle change?
But I think it's natural in life, don't you think so? Like, for instance, when you are young, you have some people with whom you hang around, and then you go to university, and then your friendship change according to your area of interest. And then if, for instance, people get married, they then change interest. If they have children, they change interest. So I think it's a natural process in life. But what I feel it's important is that you don't break. Because me, for instance, until today, I'm still very much in contact with my friends from childhood even, like from youth age. So we are still in contact. So it's not that you break, but naturally your interests change, and you come to come more in touch with people which are more aligned with what you are doing. So I think it's a natural process.
Right. And how did it affect your work? Work-wise, spirituality, if you connect both your work and spirituality, how would you say that it enhanced your work?
I think that I always worked. I was never a surrender person. So since the beginning until now, I'm still working. Yeah. Now I'm trying to manage to get retired, but in my area, it's a little bit delicate, because also I believe that as more skilled you become and more experienced, more easy it is to do the job. So anyway, but what I feel is that spirituality, because it brings you this inner fulfillment, it also makes you more available for others. So it's like you stop searching for a meaning, for happiness, for something. So when I'm doing my job, I'm not taking from my job. I'm I do my job. I think it's important. It's my source of income. It also gives me possibility and opportunity to be here, for example. Yeah. But it's not that I'm going to find the meaning of my life in my job. You see, so I'm kind of more available for the people who come, and there is less tension, I would say, in what you are doing.
There's a bigger purpose than just the work.
Yes, and the purpose is not in the work itself. The purpose is the purpose of your life, and you are able. I just came now from a class, and I like it very much. One thing that I learned, that it's a matter of integrate your spiritual identity in all the other areas of your life. So you are the same person. It's not that you are a different person whilst working, or whilst with your friends, or whilst with your family. So you have your spiritual identity, and you are able to integrate it in whatever you do in a natural way.
Yeah, correct. Has it ever happened to you that any situation you must have faced in your life, and then you handle it so peacefully, and then after you handled it, you realize that I didn't have the power of controlling the situation unless I would have meditated. And then you must have realized that because I'm meditating, because I'm spiritually involved, I'm getting the power from there in the earlier stages. So if you can share some experiences that must have happened with you.
Yeah. I think that, for instance, my dad recently has a serious illness. And it's very interesting, because at the moment of need, like my younger sister, she was so emotional with the entire situation, and my brother was so detached, and I was the only one who had the clarity in terms of what to do, where to look for help, and which kind of profession. So you become an anchor for the entire family because of your stability.
Yeah.
Because you are able to keep your state and to keep your calm and to keep your clarity. Because it seems to me that in times of turmoil, I mean, for whatever reason, what happens is that people, they lose clarity in terms of where to go, what to do, and also the emotions, when they come up intensely. People don't have the capacity to take the actions that are needed. And I think that in my work, how many times I have faced different challenges. And I think that another aspect that the spirituality brings to you is never give up. There is never this feeling of, it's impossible or it's too much difficult. You go for it, and you just do whatever requires to be done, and there is a level of detachment that allows you to just kind of keep going. I myself had a health problem many years ago, and I never doubted that it was going to work.
Yeah.
So I think that this conviction, this faith that one developed, that no matter what, it's going to be for the best. And so, I think it's different things that, of course, I think that for each one is different. For me, this aspect of the benevolence of whatever happens, no matter what, is something very strong, and to have this attitude of a gratitude, no matter what happens. I think that at the end of the day, what solves the situations is not so much just what you do, but what is the level of energy that you are able to invest in what you do. So if it's a good energy, if it comes with good qualities, so things, they kind of unfold by themselves in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So.
And are there any experiences that you remember while meditating, out of the box experiences? When you started, did you feel something unreal happening with you? Or any experiences that must have stayed with you till now, if you can share?
Yeah, apart from that experience that I shared in the beginning with you, I feel that I like very much one aspect of the body of knowledge of Brahma Kumaris, which is about the drama of life. Like you are an actor. So it's a nice... I like this idea that actually, in reality, we are all actors, kind of enacting a big drama, which is life. And I believe that having this awareness, what I was able to make is that I was able to make the drama of life. I was my friend, being aligned with it in a certain way. So somehow, no matter which are the kind of situations that happen, you really are able to experience and to see the benefit. I think the challenge is that sometimes the benefit, it comes a little bit after. Okay. It's not instantly, correct, but it always comes. And if you look to the situations you have lived in the past, you can clearly identify that was this difficulty, but look what come as an outcome of that situation. So I think that this wisdom, also if you are able to apply it in the situations that are still to come. So anyway, for me, that is a practical kind of experience, you see. I like very much when in meditation to just come in contact with this perfect being, this divine being that I am, and from that space just kind of feel the presence of God, with His amazing light and amazing qualities. And it's so refreshing, to come out from this drama of life, which sometimes is so confused and so complex and so full of sorrow and suffering. You just experience the relief of being beyond for a while, in kind of taking this sun bath, of this amazing source of everything, which is God. And I think that this just kind of rejuvenates the being to come and kind of keep going with whatever you have to do.
Correct. And before you came into spirituality, were you religious? Did you believe that there is God?
I always believed there is God, but I was not a religious. I cannot say I was a religious person. My background was Christian, but I'm not even used to go to church or this kind of thing. So I always believe in God.
Okay.
But I cannot say I was a religious person.
All right. So when you came into spirituality, what made you stick to it? You said that the course didn't do enough for you. It wasn't that great. What made you come back? What was that you kept going back?
That's a very good question, actually, because I think it was some memory that awakened inside, that it was something here, a kind of recognition. I don't know if it was a feeling of belonging, although it was not very, very clear still to me what it was about. But there was something which is beyond the rational side, you see? Which kind of made me keep coming. Until then, I had this realization, and then it was
kind of your intuition speaking that.
Yes, it's a kind of exactly. I think this feeling of belonging, of recognition, of being found or having found somehow. So it's a kind of this feeling when you come home.
Yeah.
Kind of coming home and
Right.
feeling embraced, but all very subtle, very subtle. Maybe something that I myself couldn't tell at that moment, but it's a good question why I could, I kept coming without really having a kind of aha experience in terms of the knowledge I was having. So it was something else, in another level of my spirit.
Right. And what would you compare, if we compare that being involved with spirituality alone and within a community? Within a community makes a lot of difference. As you said, here you meet a lot of people. When you come to Mount Abu, you get to speak with their experiences. If someone is carrying their journey individually, will the progress be less as compared to in a community?
I don't think so, because I think that we are all different people and each one has different ways and different needs, and nowadays as well there are so much that one can take in terms of sustenance through, Awakening channel, through YouTube, through so many online means, Of course, that to come from time to time in contact with the community and kind of be able to share, it helps. But I think also in different phases of our lives, we are looking for different things, Like sometimes you want to be more exchanging with people, and sometimes you just want to be more in solitude, and you yourself churning and kind of revolving and reflecting about what you learn and having your own experience. So I know different people from different backgrounds who have kind of benefit from both sides. So I myself in my journey have had different phases in my life,
Correct.
So I don't think there is one right and wrong.
Right. And what do you think is the need of the hour? What should people focus on in today's time?
I think that we are living very complex times, in terms of what is happening in the world, the uncertainty for the future, and people are afraid because there is no guarantee for absolutely anything, in terms of political, economical, whatever side you want to look. So I think that it's very important to have this kind of inner stability, which comes from this kind of connection with your real self. And when I say real, is that part of yourself that never changes, which is our spiritual side, Right. So like when you have this kind of, when you anchor yourself in something which doesn't change no matter what, then you have stability to be able to deal with all the ups and downs of the world outside. So I think that that's one kind of need at the moment. It's not even an option, no, it's a need, because what we see as a result of not having this inner anchor is that people or they are getting sick physically or they are getting sick mentally. Because really the intensity of ups and downs in the world is immense. No? So I think that look for a meditation, a spiritual path, and kind of be more intimate with yourself is vital at this moment.
Correct. Very well said, because we cannot control the stability of something which is around us that is not in our control. We can control what is within us.
Yeah, I like very much this metaphor, no, this analogy that was used many years ago by some of our senior sisters, senior brothers actually at that time, which was this analogy with a hurricane. No, in a hurricane you have all these wild winds going on all around, but there is one part of the hurricane in which you have total stability, which is the eye of the hurricane. So it's like this center, this eye of the hurricane is this kind of inner state, you know, when you are really connected with the core of your being. And then from there, you are able to deal with all these kind of amazing waves, whatever is going on. Because there is no escapatory, you know, like where are you going to be? I mean, there is no part of the world, nowhere where you can run to be in that place protected. Nowadays, crisis is globalized as well, no?
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking our time, sister, to speak to us. It was such a lovely conversation. I learned a lot during this conversation. And thank you for sharing all these experiences with us.
Yeah, I hope it was useful. And it was my pleasure, actually, to be with the audience of the Awakening Television and to be with all of you. And
it was very useful.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.